You're commuting home with Katz and Cosby. Now, here's John Katzimatidis and Rita Cosby on 77 WABC.
And joining us now here is Kari Lake. Of course, John, we love Kari, Arizona GOP Senate candidate who's there and fighting the border.
And there might be big news coming out of Arizona next day or so.
Yeah, huge news. In fact, exactly. Kari, you're in like the center of it all now. I know President Trump is in Arizona, and also, as John's referring to, RFK Jr. Looks like he's going to be endorsing President Trump, and Trump has said he'd be thrilled if he gets that endorsement. First off, what are your thoughts about that before we get into the border and everything else?
Well, it's wonderful news. We welcome everybody into the America First movement. It's not called Republicans First. It's called America First. And Americans have woken up and realized that the only way out of the mess we're in, that the political elite and the swamp and many, bureaucrats in D.C. have caused, the only way out of that is with America First policy. So we welcome everybody into it. If you woke up to the nightmare of Washington, D.C. swamp and their terrible anti-American, America Last policies 20 years ago, we welcome you in. If you woke up 20 days ago or 20 minutes ago, that's the beauty of this movement. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm looking forward to being there. The name Kennedy is no longer synonymous with Democrat, because the Democrat Party right now is truly a Marxist party. It's socialism. It's America Last. I truly believe that if, Robert Kennedy Jr.'s father or John F. Kennedy were alive today, they would be America First patriots. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Can you even imagine that uttered by Kamala Harris, Ruben Gallego, my opponent, or Tim Walz? I can't. They're all about putting America last, and so we welcome RFK Jr., any Democrat, any independent over. Let's come together and unite as Americans and save this great nation.
I was just watching just a few minutes ago, President Trump, who's there. He's in Nogales, which is a tough spot, as you know. And it was gut-wrenching because you could see all these families who lost loved ones due to migrant crime standing with them at that press conference. He has done, I think, such a great job spotlighting, obviously, the issue at the border, the crisis at the border. And then here tonight, juxtapose that, Kari Lake. In a matter of hours, we're going to see the, quote, so-called border czar. What is she going to say? I mean, the record has been dismal. Anywhere from 8 to 20 million have crossed our border under this administration.
He's talking about migrant crime. I think of another crime that's committed on the people of America is the fentanyl deaths, 17,000 last year alone. Imagine that. This is the number one cause of death for young generation, 18 to 40, is fentanyl poisoning, and it's coming through the border. And Kamala Harris, the border czar, Ruben Gallego, who's voted every step of the way along with this open borders pro-cartel plan, they've got blood on their hands. We're losing a generation of people, whether they're hit from a drunk driver who shouldn't be here, murdered by a crazy maniac who's here who should not be coming across the border, raped or killed, or if they end up being poisoned by fentanyl. It's all the cause of this open border, and President Trump had it secure. So it's heart-wrenching. Nogales is a town, by the way. It's right there on the border. We've got Nogales, Arizona, and its sister city is Nogales, Mexico. It's right there. They want to be open for legal business. A lot of legal traffic moves through, but they're horrified by what they're seeing with people pouring over from 170 different countries. They don't know who's coming in. I was down there a couple months ago, actually. We drew a massive crowd, even though this is a very Democrat and the most conservative people are independents down there. They're all fed up. They're people who have families, little kids. They've got people that are pouring across the border who don't speak the language, and they're just petrified by what's happening with this wide open border.
I mean, they got to be angry with all those people coming through that border. I mean, are they still coming through at the rate they were coming?
I think it's slowed a little bit. But we're still seeing people now flying in. They're being flown in by Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. 16 million people. The summer heat will slow things down naturally. but 16 million people I heard today.
When you go to your local diner or when you go to a local restaurant, do people say we're angry? Because I know there are a lot of angry people around.
Absolutely. And everybody says that. You know who's most, pardon my French, pissed off about it? People who came here legally. People tell me this, though. They say, keep fighting. We want this border under control. I look at the polling, guys. I've got internal polling. That's the good stuff where we say give it to us straight. The vast majority of all Arizonans, Democrats, are sick of it. Hispanic Arizonans, which make up 25% of our state population, are fed up with what they're seeing. They're tired of their kids dying from fentanyl poisoning. Everybody in this state knows somebody or has a very personal relationship with somebody who's died from fentanyl poisoning. And to top it off, the border czar, Kamala Harris, they've lost track of 290 children who were trafficked across the country.
290,000.
290. Did I misspeak? 290,000.
You missed by 289,000.
Okay. I meant 290,000 children have been lost.
It's unbelievable.
God's children. God's children are not for sale. That comes from that great movie.
I know. I talk to Bob Unanaway from Goya Foods all the time, and he shouts that out. He is so angry, and he wants to,
Yeah, and they're not saying anything about it.
Real quickly, guys, 290,000 children gone, missing. And then we have more than 120,000 young people who are killed every year from this fentanyl. Can imagine the number of people who are being wiped off the planet. When do we say enough is enough? Now Kamala and my opponent are trying to act like they're going to fix it. They caused the problem. It's a weapon of mass destruction.
By the way, did you hear? John just said everyone's going to hear it, hopefully, in 74 days. By the way, Kari, congrats on your primary win, on your big one.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and we'll catch up again real soon.
Thank you, Kari.
Sounds good.
Okay,
Thanks,
let's go.